Hello and welcome back to Seoul Bite. The summer heat is finally fading and the Korean Thanksgiving, Chuseok, is just a month away. Today we're making beef Galbijjim, also known as braised short ribs. This is a classic Korean holiday dish that everyone loves, making it absolutely perfect for family gatherings. Let's start with the meat. When you head to the market, you'll usually find short ribs already cut, either for galbijjim, the soup, or for Galbijjim, the braise. Go for the pieces cut across the bone and try to pick ones that aren't too fatty. I've got about 7 pounds of beef short ribs here. At the store, they're usually labeled beef short rib. Now 7 pounds might sound like a lot, but once you account for the fat you trim off and the weight of the bones, it's really not much at all. This is about right for a family of 4. First things first, we need to draw the blood out of the ribs. Add enough water to cover them completely and let them soak for at least an hour. I'll change the water once, about halfway through at the 30-minute mark. While that's soaking, let's prep the vegetables. Take about half of 1 large Korean radish, give it a good wash and peel it. You'll also want 2 medium potatoes, 2 small carrots, and about 3 green onions. And for garnish later, I've set aside around 10 jujubes. Those are Korean dried dates. For mushrooms, beach mushrooms are a perfect match for beef. So I've got both the brown and white kind ready. And here's a little tip. Koreans love adding shiitake mushrooms to Galbijjim too, so I've prepared some of those as well. Now for the marinade ingredients. We need 1 cup of soy sauce, 3 teaspoons of minced garlic, 1 teaspoon of ginger, and half a teaspoon of black pepper. And instead of sugar in the braise, I use half a cup of syrup. Rice syrup coats the meat beautifully, giving it a glossy shine and a deeper flavor. You will also need 1 Korean pear and 1 onion. Now these next few are optional, but let me walk you through them. First, sugar. When you change the water at that 30-minute mark to keep drawing out the blood, sprinkle in some sugar. It helps make the meat even more tender. Next, mirin. When we parboil the ribs later, I like to add a splash to get rid of any gamey smell. And finally, sesame oil. Koreans always love finishing a dish with a little drizzle of it right at the end, when you're plating up. Okay, 30 minutes are up. Pour off all that water, rinse the meat well, and drain it again. Once you've drained it, pour in fresh water. Now sprinkle half a cup of sugar all over, nice and even. And give it a good toss. Like I said, adding sugar while you draw out the blood helps tenderize the meat. Let it sit for another 30 minutes. While we wait, let's make the sauce. Chop the onion into rough pieces and toss it into the blender. Peel the pear, cut out the core and seeds, chop it a little smaller. And that goes in too. For the green onion, use just the white part. Chop it up and add it to the blender as well. Then pour in the soy sauce, add the garlic and the ginger. Once everything's in there, blend it all together until it's smooth. And look, another 30 minutes have gone by. See how clean the meat is now? All that blood drawn out? Let's give it one last rinse and get cooking. Grab a nice big roomy pot. We're going to parboil the meat first, just to get rid of any remaining smell and impurities. Add just enough water to barely cover the ribs, bring it up to a boil over high heat, and once it's boiling, let it go another 3 to 4 minutes. This is where that mirin comes in. I add about 2 tablespoons right about now. It really does a better job of chasing away any gaminess. Okay, it's been about 4 minutes. Let's pull the meat out and rinse it. Careful, it's hot. Give it a good rinse under cold water. Next, cut the radish into big chunks like this. Then add your rinsed meat back into the pot and put in the radish we just cut right alongside the meat. This time, everything cooks together from the very start. Add in that sauce we blended earlier. Turn on the heat, start on high, and after about 10 minutes, bring it down to medium and let it cook for a full hour. We'll be adding the vegetables in stages as we go. Lid on. While the ribs simmer, let's cut the rest of our vegetables. Since the vegetables release their own water and cook for a while, we want them big. So cut them into good chunky pieces, not too small. Nice and big. Remember, the white part of the green onion went into the sauce, so here we're using the green part. Now for the garnish mushrooms, tear the beach mushrooms into thin little pieces, just bite-sized. And for the shiitake, I want to get a little fancy and carve a pretty pattern into the top. The garnish is really all about the visual appeal, so let's make it look as pretty as we can. And there we go. The meat is bubbling away nicely over high heat. Now, this part is important. Stir and flip everything every so often so the bottom doesn't scorch. The meat's cooking beautifully. Don't forget to mix the sauce through and keep moving the pieces around so they cook evenly. Once the meat's about halfway done, and by now it's been around 30 minutes, that's when the carrots go in. Lid back on. 10 minutes after the carrots, add the potatoes. Adding the vegetables in order of how firm they are, one step at a time, is really the key. If you throw everything in with the meat right at the start, the vegetables turn to mush and it's just not as nice to eat. Another 10 minutes after the potatoes go in, now's the time to add the rice syrup and dial in the sweetness. Drizzle it all over nice and even. Then add the pepper we set aside. We're almost there. About 5 minutes before you turn off the heat, add your garnish, the mushrooms, and the jujubes. If you're not a fan of their aroma, feel free to leave them out. Totally up to you. And add the green onions last. And the Galbijjim is done. Look at that color. It's gorgeous. All those vegetables and the meat just glistening. When it's finished, Koreans like to drizzle on a little sesame oil. Again, that one's optional. Skip it if you're not into the aroma. And there it is, beautiful glossy Galbijjim. The beef came out so tender, cooked low and slow, until it's just falling apart, and that deep, rich, savory flavor from the soy sauce and all those vegetables, absolutely incredible. The color is just stunning. So, how about making Galbijjim for your family gathering this weekend? It takes a little patience, sure, all that soaking and simmering, but honestly, that's the secret. Good Galbijjim can't be rushed. And when you set it down on the table and watch everyone's face light up, trust me, it's worth every minute. If you give this recipe a try, I'd love to hear how it turned out, so drop me a comment down below and let me know. And if today's dish made you a little hungry, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. That's the best way to keep more Korean home cooking coming your way. Thanks so much for cooking along with me today. Take care of yourselves, eat well, And I'll see you next time right here at Seoul Bite. Bye for now.